there, you beautiful face. Welcome to the Power Report. I'm Lamar. Alright, so I'll be back on camera in my next video, which I'm really excited about that. Now, let's get to the topic. So, we've got to talk about the schools and how teachers are quitting left and right, even during a recession.
I quit.
Hold on.
No hard feelings, man.
That's how you know things are crazy at these schools. In today's video, we're going to hear from educators on why they've decided to quit.
I don't like my job, and I don't think I'm gonna go anymore.
The reading issues in schools and what teachers and students are dealing with.
Hey, what you say? I said whoever threw that paper, your mom's a hoe.
I remember back when I was in school, I used to ask the teachers during class, why were we learning about boring stuff like algebra and George Washington, and not about how to buy a home, credit scores, or how to get a job, you know? And some of these teachers, they thought the question was rude, while others thought it was a great question, and they revealed to the class that they would love to talk about these topics, but the school board wouldn't approve such subject matters. Boring topics, that's what we basically had to deal with, me and my classmates back in the day. Now, students and teachers have to deal with so much more. I mean, teachers have to worry about distractions from smartphones, continuous low wages, district-wide and statewide budget cuts, less authority in their classrooms, layoffs, talks of AI reducing or eliminating their roles in the future, unruly kids who aren't afraid to fight them, students letting ChatGPT do their homework, and disengaged parents. That's something that's been growing for, decades now. So that's been a problem for quite some time. Now, on the students' part, the students, on the other hand, have to deal with the weight of issues going on at home and school, poor educational standards than in prior decades, creepy female and male teachers flirting with them.
And don't you mouth off to me or I'm gonna slap you right in your penis.
An unhinged classmate on a school deletion mission. Younger, more emotional teachers, weird sexual preference subject matters.
What's that?
Girl, that's a booty hole.
Not a hole, Keisha. A vow.
And older teachers who just don't know how to connect to students in modern times. The list goes on both of these. It's just so crazy how teaching used to be such a beloved and respected profession, but now even male educators can't handle the kids.
Shut your mouth.
All this coupled with school politics and mental health stress on teachers have these educators deciding to just bounce mid-school year.
We all quit during the break because I came back to work today and there's some teachers gone. Students are asking if the teachers got fired.
4 months ago, I decided to quit my teaching job and I took a step out on faith. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know how I was going to pay my bills. All I know is that God told me to move, and that's what I did. I was miserable. I love the kids that I was working with, have always loved the children that I've worked with, but it had become so mental. It had become a mental burden on me. So I dreaded getting up. I was physically sick in my body from my job. It was policy after policy after policy every day. And honestly, I was over it. I physically and mentally couldn't take another day. I literally went to work one day and I was sitting in a professional development and the lady said, "Miss Smith, you don't have anything to say?" And I said, "No, ma'am, I don't. I just need to speak with the principal because I can't do this anymore." And the lady looked at me like I was crazy. But what she didn't realize is that I had confirmation in that professional development as well as from God that, this is not what I want. This is not where I'm supposed to be.
So if you didn't know, I have recently decided to leave education and not come back. I didn't leave the classroom because I don't love kids or teaching. I left because the system stopped allowing me to actually teach. Reasonings for leaving is that scrutiny instead of trust. So I felt like personally it was constant questioning of my instruction from parents, social media posts, from all of these people that weren't in my classroom at all. Like I was always defending myself instead of being trusted to be this trained professional.
I'm a former teacher, and here's the real reason why teachers are quitting and or not mentally well. I'm sure you're thinking parents and admin, and some even say the kids. And those are all part of it. But that's not the root. This is the root. root is that teachers don't have control anymore. One of the big differences between a good teacher and a bad teacher is a good teacher has control of their classroom. Bad teacher, it's crazy, chaos. A good teacher feels like they have control, feels like they have everything going on, feels like everything's going well. But because of the current dynamics, there's a lot of teachers out there, great teachers who have been doing it for years, who now since COVID has slowly had their control stripped away by admin not allowing them to have free reign in their classroom, and parents that are no longer supportive and in most cases are combative to anything that they want to do. So the way I view it is teachers are in a straitjacket. Like imagine a teacher in a classroom with a straitjacket on. And when you feel that constant lack of control, the stress is outrageous.
So I'm sitting here in my car and I really am looking at the date. It's August 2nd and I'm really not about to go in nobody's classroom. I quit teaching. I quit. Nobody believed that I would do it, but I quit. I feel like so many people make like why I quit teaching videos. It's the same old thing. The kids, the parents, the administration, the this, the pay, the this, the that. And I can echo all of those things, but for me, this really was a season of stepping out on faith. And I just wanted to encourage somebody, like, just go do it. Just go do it. If it's on your mind, it's on your heart, just go do it. You can always go back to what you've been used to. I'm a single mom with a 3-year-old, and I'm doing it. Just do it.
I resigned from teaching. Said it out loud. Ooh. Yeah, I need a break. There's not just one thing in particular. It's so many things. With the education system in general, where it's about to go, I want no parts.
Man, that is crazy. Just a decade or so ago, teachers had more control over their classrooms than they do today. Classrooms shouldn't be stressful. It should be a learning experience, or so we think. The social contract around schooling is starting to break down, and if you know the real history around the modern day schooling systems, revamped by John D. Rockefeller in 1902 through 1964, that's when it had the biggest impact, and why it was reimagined to not educate and make us smart, but to structure our mindset for a life of subservient work. And I'm glad people are starting to wake up around this.
The reason that you don't know anything about money is because John D. Rockefeller created the education system. And if you'll recall, he said, I want a nation of workers, not a nation of thinkers. So when he created the education system, he made it a one-to-one model. School is the same as a work day at the factory. That's why you go to your 8-hour shift, 7 to 3, 8 to 4, 9 to 5. Only learning things that make you a better employee. Just like basic math, basic reading and writing, his story, how to stay in line, and how to follow orders. Everything that a good employee should know. Totally neglecting things like teamwork, they call that cheating in school, critical thinking, outside the box problem solving, money management, investing, leadership, sales, communication, tax strategy, and the laws that govern you. And anything else that would be useful in the real world.
Now that the social society contract is starting to fail, they don't really need you, as school has already created millions of dummies over the last 100 years.
That's stupid! Use your common sense.
People have constantly voted against their own self-interest. Parents have allowed their kids to be coached right into the school-to-prison pipeline.
Sensational.
They have blindly sent their kids into adulthood with mountains of debt in the form of an admission certificate into the workforce, aka a college degree, never asking, why does my child have to go into so much debt to get a job? See, in the past, you were sent off into the world able to read, write, and obtain some form of worldly thinking. Now, the school system is like teaching robots to read and write, except the billionaires and the government are moving more and more money into AI, robotics, and building prisons than they are teaching American kids. Why does ChatGPT, a trained software program that can read, write, and speak, have a better speaking structure than the average American student or adult? So they can intelligently train AI, but not your child. This is where the money has been redirected, and now students, along with the help of their parents, can't read.
Let's make it make sense. Parents, I am not lying on your kids. Please stop coming underneath my videos talking about I'm lying on parents and I'm lying on students. The truth is, teachers are tired of lying about your students' abilities, and now we are telling the truth and you don't believe us. The truth is, your kids cannot read, they cannot write, they cannot spell, they cannot comprehend, they cannot make inferences, they don't know their phone numbers, they don't know their home address, they don't know where they live, they don't even know their middle names. Half of the names you gave them, they cannot spell. Okay, nobody has to come up here lying on your kids. If anybody lying, it's the district, it's the state, it's the government lying, forcing teachers to lie about your kids' ability. Your kids can't do nothing but curse, wreak havoc, be disrespectful, skip class, start fights. And nobody said it was all the kids, but it's too many of the kids for us not to be talking about it. And the kids that do got it don't have it enough, okay? So please stop coming in my comments talking about I'm lying on your kids. I'm not. I'm actually telling the truth. And if you sat down, good parents, and talk to your kids for a second, you'll realize everything we telling you they can't do, they actually can't do it.
Wait, what?
A few moments later.
My child is in the 2nd grade and can't read. She said she couldn't read her math problem in class, and so she had to ask a friend to read it for her, and now I'm seeing that the reading is obviously going to everything else, and her last school absolutely failed so many freaking children, which is why we switched this year. And she just got her testing for the beginning of the year, and it shows that she literally needs reading intervention 5 days a week. I didn't even learn to read until I was in 3rd grade because I had my own issues. How the fuck am I supposed to teach her how to read? The reading epidemic is real. Epidemic is real, and I think that it needs to be talked about more because now we are going to be spending $40 to $70 on tutoring for her. I co-parent with her dad and he bought her a phone, which I didn't agree to, but that's besides the point. And so she's 7 with a phone and she can't text or read the text, so you have to send voice memos. The reading epidemic is real. It's real. It is real, and schools are not helping for the most part because they don't have the resources. Before you keep calling me a bad mom, let's talk about this. So my daughter could read in kindergarten, and then 1st grade I was like, hey, she lost some reading over the summer. Talked to the teacher. I was like, hey, I want to put her in tutoring. She was like, just wait, that really does happen. She'll probably pick it up. Never picked it up. So then I go talk to the teacher, and they were like, hey, that teacher doesn't work here anymore. We actually moved your daughter into a new class. And I said, what? And they said, yeah, she's in a new class. So that's a whole different story. But now I'm talking to the new teacher, and I'm like, she can't read. I need help. What can I do to help her? I'm already doing what I can do at home. What can I do to help her? And she's like, $25 after school. I'll tutor her. I said, bet, let's do it. So she went there for weeks, still didn't know how to read. So then over the summer, we're reading at home. She can read slowly and sound the words out. But at 2nd grade, I want her to open that shit and be like, I'm reading this book. That's what she needs to be doing. And so that's not happening. And now we're at a new school, which is a public school. And this is the first testing. And they said she needs so much reading intervention. So
Deborah Wanger's 2018 report shows that American demand for these skilled professionals is quickly burgeoning.
All right, hold on. Ben, pick up where she left off, please.
Or growing beyond the number of social.
No, go back.
Licking said social. Lick.
No, go back.
See, bro, I feel like you trying to be funny now, bro.
I'm trying to help you, but if you want to keep saying Lickinson, then fine. So go back and say that word.
Bro, pick somebody else, bro.
This is it, Homer. It's time to tell her the terrible secret from your past. Marge, I ate those fancy soaps you bought for the bathroom.
Oh my God!
No, the other secret. Marge, I never graduated from high school.
These kids can't read. They can't decode. They have no vocabulary, no background knowledge. I've never seen anything like it. For context, for 8 years, I taught a self-contained program for significant language-based learning disabilities. Like, it was the most restrictive environment. It was the step before being sent to a specialized school. And my 5th graders with significant language-based learning disabilities could write better than non-disabled 7th graders can now. They can't write a sentence. They don't know what state they live in. They don't know what region of the country they're in. They have no background knowledge. Most of them don't know who the president is. They're coming to school with no background knowledge. They have very low skills. And yes, part of my job is to help them find those skills. And as a special education teacher, I'm obviously going to be working with students who require specialized instruction, but I'm not talking about specifically my students. I'm talking about students in the grade, period. And this was the case last year. They can't take notes. They can't even attend to a video. They can't even attend to a 3-minute video clip. I can play it, I can tell them what it's going to be about, I can summarize what the video did, and not a single one can tell me what the video was about.
I'm not even trying to be funny, but these kids are... I'ma just say this. I teach 7th grade, they are still performing on the 4th grade level. I don't care how you flip it, turn it, swing it, swindle it. They still performing on the 4th grade level. Ain't nobody talking about how they just keep moving, passing them on. They just keep passing them on. I can put as many zeros in this grade book as I want to. They're gonna move that child to the 8th grade next year.
And I teach at one of the more affluent schools. When I tell you that these babies cannot read, they cannot write, and they cannot comprehend, I'm not being funny. I'm being dead serious. It doesn't exist. I have kids constantly asking me, how do I spell window? How do I spell important? How do I spell though? And they be serious. They're dead serious. I could ask them, who is the main character of your story? The story of 4-paragraph story we just read. Can't tell you. They don't know. They don't know. They don't know. It took us 4 weeks to get through how to answer a question in a complete sentence.
Nothing about this is okay! Nothing about this is okay!
That's alarming. And just imagine how these future adults will vote. But how can you vote or fill out a job application if you don't know how to read? I mean, I work with Gen Z, and most of them, they don't know how to work or perform basic troubleshoot on a computer. Yes, they do not know how to work a computer. That means navigating around the computer. They don't know how to do basic troubleshooting if the computer freezes. They know smartphones, but not a PC. This is why they're working hard to usher in the advancement of AI and robotics, because how can you have a young workforce that can't read, write, or use critical thinking skills? Gen Z already has emotional issues. Gen Alpha is just cooked. And all this started ramping up with the millennial generation. I'm sorry, but most Gen X and older millennials have failed their children. And, things can be said for the baby boomers and how they raised their children. Millennials were the first generation that I can think of where they created the No Child Left Behind initiative under George W. Bush in the early 2000s. Now, we have several generations of students and parents who can't fully function. So much so, students aren't even afraid of their parents, mainly their mothers, who usually are the only guardians. This has led to troublesome attitude behaviors in students, leading teachers to become even more unprofessional nowadays.
I'm done.
You quit?
You're not going to be disrespected by anybody. I don't know who you people think you are, but you don't treat anybody like this. It's not funny.
That is my stuff, yes sir.
Enough, Kevin.
First off, get out of my face.
Get out of my face! Sit down. I'll knock your fist down.
But I am sure disgusted with the fact that you just have no respect for anybody, including yourself. And wearing this doesn't make you wonderful. Well, let's not go there, but you know what? It says be obedient, doesn't it? And you are not being obedient.
Wait, you saying trust is...
You are not being obedient. That's all I'm saying.
That's a little crossing.
You are not being obedient by not listening to the teacher. I don't care who it is up here.
Hey, ma'am, that's kind of disrespectful to touch his cross like that. No, you can't.
Yeah, tell me that I'm not being a good Christian.
I didn't say that. I said
you
don't
fight it, and that's not okay. It's never okay to tell someone if they're being a good Christian.
I didn't say that.
Only God can say you're not being obedient.
Welcome down to the AP office. All three of you, get up and go now. If you don't want to get up and go, I'll get on the phone, call the police down here, and they'll eject you right now. Hey, somebody else want to go with them? I need a police officer in room 105. Thank you.
Barb, do you think I can't multitask? Do you think I'm slow? Do you think I can't talk and do my work? Chill out. Is it impossible to talk and write? No, I can't even talk and write because I'm talking to you, and I feel like you're offending me. You know what I'm saying? It's not that hard to write and talk. I don't know what type of stupid dude you think I am, but I'm not that one. So I'm gonna get back to doing my homework. Thank you very much. Okay, make the call home. Matter of fact, I'll call it right now.
Oh, excuse me. You're gonna ask to use my phone?
What? You're just gonna call my mom. Oh my
Did
God.
that say
Go
you?
call it.
What?
Call my mom. It is third grade. I'm getting my work done, so call her and tell her that. The only reason you don't want to call her right now is because you want to tell her a whole bunch of other stuff that I can't defend myself for. You think I'm slow? Oh my gosh. She think I was born yesterday?
And it's not funny! This is serious! He's trying to help you learn! If y'all can't handle it, go back to pre-K! It's not that hard! In 12th grade, you're not gonna know what to do!
But maybe you don't have good sense because you're sitting here arguing with me and you're making me mad and I'm going to send you to the office if you don't shut up!
You're tweaking right now.
That does it.
You're tweaking.
Mister, I am serious. Wipe that smirk off your face now.
What is 4 times 4?
8.
Would you be quiet?
That's no damn real work.
Well, I'd like to see you go up here and do one of these
What the
problems.
fuck up talking to me, Mrs. Johnson, before I come knock the motherfucking glasses off your face. And that's on my dick or my head.
Oh, you're bending down. Are you sure you aren't going to break a hip?
No, my hips are actually in better shape than your hips.
You want to tell me why that is?
I don't know. Maybe it's because I exercise and you don't.
So in closing, I think to solve this schooling issue, we need to go back to having family values and community structure. Men and women need to choose a better mate when looking for long-term relationships in the hope to start a family. Properly vet the man and properly vet that woman. Just because a person look good doesn't make that individual a good candidate for a husband, a wife, a mother, or a father. Not properly vetting someone has real world consequences for you and most importantly the child or children you two share. But this all goes back to the education and possessing critical thinking skills. These choices spill over into the educational system and merge that with the slave worker system that they have in place. You're doing exactly what the billionaires who control the government want you to do. It's already sad enough they want us to have children only to keep the tax and workforce system going. This ensures future soldiers for future wars and police officers to protect the property of the rich. I can go on and on. But when you don't know how the government works, don't have critical thinking skills, you'll fall for anything. Corporations with the instructions of the billionaires have us nowadays working longer hours and more stressful or toxic work environments. Also, we don't have time for our children, have time to form healthy romantic relationships, or spend time with our family and friends. I know some families are starting to, homeschool their kids, And that's great as long as their children's education does not suffer. They say, a large percent of women are starting to leave the workforce, so maybe this is a sign of a small return of a community-focused American society. I really hope so. They already told us in 2020, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. That apparently is also including a proper education. Let me know your thoughts down below. I appreciate you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Adios. Oh man, we about to get this party started. If you made it this far in the video, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe, like, and that notification bell. It ain't a party until you subscribe. I love you for watching, and I'll see that beautiful face in the next one. Peace!